What's
Hello.
up?
Hi,
Hello,
Hawa.
guys. What's up, Jack?
Not much. Happy Wednesday.
Yes. Happy Wednesday. It's so dark in here because it's so scary outside. Shout out to the people that are in New York City right now. It's like crazy with all the smoke. But we are happy to have you guys here. It's been a wild week, safe to say, Jack, right?
Safe to say, yeah, to say the least, for
To say
sure.
the least. It's been an incredible, pivotal moment for the entire space, for the entire industry. The energy in the office on Monday was like indescribable. After all of those years of just building in the space, I was just so happy for our founders and for our team and for our creators. It was just a
100%.
round of applause moment. But yes, for those of you guys that don't know me, I am Hawa. This is a live stream that we do weekly, and this is
I'm Jack. I'm on the support team at Spatial and have been tuning in to with Hawa for the past couple of weeks.
Yes, it's been great to have you, Jack. It's kind of like my treacherous little twin. But it's been awesome having you on. I run socials and comms at Spatial. And today we're going to be talking about, obviously, spatial computing. This is kind of like a new term, quote unquote, kind of. But we want to start demystifying that and kind of talking about, the work that we've been doing in this space for years, how this affects us, how this affects our creators, how we're going to be moving forward. And we feel like we need a special guest to kind of explain that a little bit more.
Yes, so we are going to be bringing on a member of the Spatial team. His name is Lou. He is an expert in all things spatial computing and has a long time in the industry. And so we would like to bring on Lou to the stream.
Yes, let's do it.
Hi, Lou.
Lou.
Welcome. Please
Hello.
give yourself a little intro for the folks.
Thank you, Jack. Thank you, Hawa. So excited to be here. This new hot show we've got, Surf and Spatial. I'm definitely excited to be here this week to dish on all things spatial computing. So, yeah, my name's Lou. I'm a staff product engineer here at Spatial. And what that means is that I do a lot of engineering across all of our platforms, across web, mobile, and VR. And my main priority is thinking about our priorities. So looking at how people are using the product and understanding how we can shift those to better succeed for our creators and for our players and our explorers, really looking at it from a user feedback perspective and a data analysis perspective of how the platform is doing and all the ways that we are powering your amazing creations.
Yes, that was a great
Amazing.
intro. Round of applause. Also, if you guys tuned in last week, you guys know we were kind of surfing spaces and kind of going through the new homepage and all the discoverability. Lou has definitely been Lou has been looting. has been leading that effort, and it's been so awesome. It's been great to be on that team and kind of like just figuring out how we're going to like make this all more accessible and more discoverable. So definitely shout out to you, Lou. We appreciate all the amazing work that you do at Spatial. So yeah, I think we should hop right in. Jack, we're going to ask the first question. And we can start talking about spatial computing.
Yeah. So again, thank you for giving us your time today, Lou. So first, you've been in the space building spatial computing for years. So what was the moment like for you on Monday when the Vision Pro was announced?
It depends how far back you want to look to say how far I've been in it. I actually did a science fair project when I was 10 years old on the state of VR back in like 1999. And then in 2017, when ARKit was first announced, it was Apple's first piece of this whole master plan. I had a big moment in my life where I just had a really significant relationship fall apart and my job fall apart like in the same week. And I had this like brewing hobby of virtual reality. I had bought an HTC Vive. I was going to these VR hackathons and it felt cool. And then all of a sudden it was boom, 300 million devices out there can run ARKit, iPhone 6S, basic iPads. It's like, oh, this is huge. This feels like the moment. I got to learn this. And I decided to take like a 6-month sabbatical and really learn Unity and 3D design and development. And that whole year sitting around bated breath of like, the headset's coming, it's next year, it's a few months away. And that ended up setting my life down this whole different trajectory. It's what eventually brought me to New York. It was how I made the connections to these 3D artists who were using these tools, and how I got to Google. And the fact that that was 6 years ago is blowing my mind. And it's this funny symmetry in this moment for me where like my life is falling together in a lot of ways. I'm getting married next month. The spatial team is so amazing. I'm getting to lead all of these incredible designers and engineers towards building this platform where we see these amazing creations every day. It's like all this is already here, and now this moment has finally arrived. It just felt like this collision of like past, present, and future of like finally of like everything we've been waiting for is so validated, of like making this bet has been waiting on this moment, and just so excited to now have this idea out in the public. Like watching the Good Morning America interview that they had yesterday with Tim Cook, is like, wow, I like the word spatial computing was used on Good Morning America like a dozen times yesterday. I'm like sending this to my mom. I'm like, see, like you get it now, right? Like here we are.
Yeah, I mean, it's safe to say this like was in the making and a long time coming for so many people in the space. I mean, you could just see it on everyone's faces. It was just like this moment of like, let's go. Like the energy was crazy in the office. So I mean, it's really heartwarming to hear like journey over the past few years, that well, more than a few, and kind of how, you know, things manifest and how they come to be with one decision after next, and you just kind of end up exactly where you're supposed to be. So super awesome to hear. I definitely want to hear, like, I know it's only like 3 days, but 2 or 3 days, but I'm really interested to know, like, what are your initial thoughts on the Vision Pro? Good and bad, definitely tasteful, but definitely want to hear, you know, just what were your initial thoughts? What were you thinking? And we can kind of go from there.
The thing that struck me was how many of the guesses and experiments that have happened in the past 10 years of VR and AR exploration is now just a given. It was like speed running the interface choices that we've all been wondering of like, oh, will there be 6-DoF controllers, 3-DoF controllers? Are we going to have, is it pass through AR? Is it optical AR? And now it just was so nice to see this foundation. We're just like, okay, yeah, no 6-DoF controllers, check. Like super high res screens, you can read text. That's a given now, check.
Yeah.
You have VR and AR on a single spectrum you have to consider about, check. So it was just seeing how high the quality bar that Apple's going to set. And now the fact that any other competing platform is going to have to meet that quality bar, and you get to design with that in mind. There's been so many really great experiences that were built along the way, anything for like Cardboard or Oculus Go and these simpler headsets. And it was sad in a way to know that like none of those will live on, of like that is now, it's like developing like an 8-bit video game for a 64-bit computer, of like we're living in the future, and it's going to be hands, it's going to be eye tracking, and it's going to be 4K in each eye with a field of view that you can actually see.
So exciting.
Yeah.
Wow.
I think aside from the hardware, I think the things that struck me the most were definitely Apple's marketing. It has been so careful. All the things people have been joking about, like you haven't seen Tim Cook wear the headset a single time. None of the executives do have photos of them wearing the headset. They didn't let any of the press take photos of the headset. We're like, we're not having our Robert Scoble moment again of like someone wearing this in the shower and making this look goofy. Like they were so careful to make it look as normal as they possibly could, of like, we're not giving fodder for the memes. We're so careful of like, this looks very foreign, and we're going to show all these scenarios that look very human, very natural. And that introduction to the wider public is, I think, just such an excellent, careful step, instead of just trying to show out of like super high frame rate of like all these crazy whales jumping out in front of you and making it look so foreign. It's like that focus on the familiar, I think, was kind of what we expected, but like so reassuring to see that presentation of all this.
Yeah, and I think it's really a good point, especially since it's going to be so mass market. You know, you want it to be as familiar as possible. I think Apple has done a pretty good job when they release product, you know, kind of having that synergy between each of them, like your computer, your Apple Watch, whatever it may be. Like, I don't think this should be any different. I love that when it opens up, like, I recognize the screen, I know where I am, like, this is a whole new experience, but it's something that could be enjoyable and familiar. So that's a really good point. I agree with that 1,000%.
Yeah, and they're also taking a responsible approach, which they tend to try to do with all of their tech, it seems, you know, caring about how they as the company are, you know, showing it to the world. And so it is very good to see that. Another thing that was really good to see was the fact that their supporting experience is built on top of Unity. So what do you think that means for creators, Unity devs, and just the whole industry, just gaming industry, and also creative 3D industry, since Unity will be able to be taken advantage of?
That might have been the highlight of the whole moment when that logo came up on screen and everyone was just so validated. Like, this is the platform of the future. And what I said before of like making this bet on my personal career 6 years ago of like, this program seems amazing. It's a whole different way of thinking about building things and code that's so much more artistic driven, where you're thinking about the look and the feel, and the code is almost secondary, like really thinking about it from a whole scene perspective and not just having to do everything in code. I remember at some point, I think it was the like 2019 LinkedIn jobs report, Unity developer was the 7th fastest growing job in America. And wow. For everyone out there who has made a career on this or is considering making a career on this, I hope you share in this relief with me. Like, this is now a future-proof bet of like, if you are looking at these tools out there and thinking, oh, which one, like, you know, Unreal is the highest fidelity, or Godot is open source, or I just love JavaScript and 3JS, like that, this was a first class citizen from day one as far as development goes, could not be a bigger statement of like, this will be here for the long term. And the amount of Unity team that I saw tweeting about this, like, I've been working on this integration, I'm so excited to announce this. Like, this was not a second thought of like, there are deep roots into how the headset does rendering and multitasking of like, this will be really good. And, you know, Apple's been with Unity for a long time of like, Unity was the first way you could build a 3D iPhone game without writing like raw shaders back in 2008. They've had this partnership. I remember back the first week of ARKit, they even had the like iOS ARKit plugin for Unity. Like, that's been there, but this is just such a whole other level that they have WWDC workshops on this. They just got released today of like that. You're not going to have to choose between learning Swift and using Reality Kit and like Apple's walled garden approach versus getting to use this standard tool that all these professionals already know that has such a breadth of things you can do with it. So it is so nice knowing, yeah, we bet on this future and the future will be there.
Yeah, it's probably really reassuring. And I kind of like want to like investigate this as well for like people that might like not have as much experience in this, but like, why do you feel like Unity was that bet? I guess it was kind of from the beginning, like you said, that was the first way that you can make an Apple game. But why do you feel like Unity was that safe bet for Apple?
That's a great question. I mean, I think the market share perspective, just thinking of like, Unity is kind of the de facto tool for 3D creators. I think something like 90% of all AR and VR experiences are made with Unity for all the existing headsets that are out there.
That's significant.
Yeah. And then, you know, I do think, you know, business relationships can't be ignored of like Epic and Apple are in court with each other, really duking it out on some other things. So I don't think they were as keen to make this as nice a path for all of their customers. So
yeah,
definitely. So relating this back to our creators, obviously we have the creator toolkit that is built upon Unity. What does this mean for our creators? I know you kind of like were thinking about this already, Lou, but I would love to hear your perspective for everybody on this lovely live stream. What do you feel like this moment is for creators that are building with the Spatial Creator Toolkit or that are building with Unity, what this for them in the future?
I think the fact that it's so AR first is certainly what comes to my mind of it's this funny boomerang where spatial in the beginning was all about what they showed. Be with someone in your space looking at a presentation or a model. And it was this very natural approach to spatial computing. We're there together. Let's look at this thing. And as you build on that idea, so much of that becomes like, I want to control the whole space. I don't want to look like myself. I want to look like this non-humanoid thing. I want to look like a raccoon or Iron Man or anything else. And then I don't want to be limited to my space. I want to go on vast adventures through deep spaces. And it's like watching Apple arrive at this, seeing that they're now going to get to go on this path, and all the creators who've been thinking of this and dreaming of this, of like, it's kind of going to be what we had to do for spatial in a way of like, how do you bring those things back from the future and think about this now in this foundation of like, you've only been thinking of like a purely virtual world. What will that look like if you're trying to integrate that with the world around you? If that's, just in front of you and you have the dial where you can blend between the virtual and the real, what does that look like when it's just the people in front of you? What does it look like to have portals into that world of like mixing that with things that look like they're on your wall? Or even, I think the tabletop idea has really been one that's been bouncing around my head a lot of like, if you have a virtual world in front of you, how do you might you move back and forth between this virtual world that you're kind of looking down at, and you might even have a little avatar within that versus then having that scale up and be around you. So I think that's where my creative juices are flowing as this is totally different. And that it's passed through. So you can also think about removing things from the space of if you were solely thinking about pass through AR, like Magic Leap and HoloLens had, you can never really add things on in a way that totally remove them. And now that's a bet you can count on of things will be able to be removed individually from your space. And that has a lot of interesting things you could do from a storytelling and artistic standpoint.
Absolutely. You got all the keys. You got all the keys now.
Yeah, there's so many more capabilities. That's awesome.
Super exciting. Okay, I think we have a few more questions for you, Lou. I don't know if you want to hop in, Jack.
Yeah, so with the spatial toolkit, the reason that we kind of have it, well, backing up a little bit, one of the biggest hassles for the developers is that, having to deal with the infrastructure and the distribution of things. And that can be a lot of work just for one platform. So, especially because of the fact that Spatial is built on Unity, we're able to use this Unity toolkit. What do you see as some of the benefits of being able to have an experience that gets, published to all these different platforms? As a developer that might be wanting to take advantage of this headset, but also don't want to limit yourself to just this headset.
Absolutely. It's the next generation of iPhone versus Android, right? Or Mac versus PC, where if you believe in everything they're putting out and fully embrace that whole ecosystem and live within the walled garden, your world will be magical and there will never be a problem. But that is not all 7 billion people on this planet of that's not affordable. It's not people's preferences. You will always have people, whether they're on full different devices like phones or laptops versus other headsets of yes, everyone might aspire to the Apple headset, but people won't be able to afford that necessarily, and it won't have the same capabilities. And having to plan for that means just so much more for your business and your art to get that exposure and just wide accessibility that you're going to want. So while the developer experience for Apple's platform looks amazing, the fact they already showed off using Xcode next to your Reality Kit app floating in front of you in the headset and the live reloads, that's cool, but that doesn't come with cross-platform compatibility. So the bet on Unity and building with the toolkit means that you're making sure that this is something that will run everywhere, that it's not going to be bound into this one ecosystem, and you'll always have that ability to think about other devices, think about other headsets, and even think about other peripherals and capabilities that Apple didn't embrace. So you've seen things like VR gloves or like VR treadmills, and I think that will still exist in different ways. And by building with Unity and like having that eye towards the broader world, you'll have the ability to still incorporate other things as they come up without only limiting to yourself of like what Apple gives us from on high.
Nice. Yeah, I think that's going to be huge for the whole global developer community. Yeah,
definitely. So I guess you did kind of talk a little bit about some of the challenges you were thinking about. So what are your, I guess, where do you, kind of hard, this question is kind of hard because it's like no one really knows what's going to happen, right? But what do you like foresee with your experience, obviously, with your deep roots in XR and this whole spatial computing space? Where do you kind of see things going? Obviously, we haven't got the headset in our hands yet, but where do you kind of see things going for the future of spatial computing in the mass market's eyes, I guess?
It's a great question. I have seen a lot of people call this the iPhone moment of spatial computing. And as much as I want to believe that, I don't think it's there yet. Everyone said, oh, the original iPhone was expensive. $700 or $800 was not $3,500. Even as a sophomore in high school, I was able to save up and get the original iPhone. Like, that is out of reach for a high schooler today. This is not that moment. And not to mention, it's not for kids. It's not this thing that's for everyone. We only saw it for adults. I don't think this is going to be something you're handing your 4-year-old to go play with. So that version of whatever that will be is still probably 5 years at least towards something that anyone would feel comfortable wearing and really has that price accessibility and just general support of hopefully of like medically observed effects on this, because there are things that we do not know of, like spending lots of times in these headsets, and that, again, very different. I had to laugh. One of the things in the keynote they were talking about was like, oh, you can have there's a new safety feature on iPad. It'll tell you if your face is too close to the screen, and it'll like it can report you if your kid's face is too close to the screen. And then the next minute we're like, and now these are right next to your eye.
Screens on your eyes. Yeah. That was fun. I wonder
but I mean, these are real things. We're really getting to the real nitty-gritty. There is a lot to test. There is a lot that we don't know. Anybody who's claiming to be like a full-on expert at this point probably isn't, So I think you bring up really very real points and things that people need to think about. Like, is this going to be a thing for kids? It didn't really seem like that. How is this going to exist in the mass market? How much more developing is there to do? Jinha also mentioned that, he's already ready for the next version of the headset because he knows it's just going to get better and more compact and, more accessible. And that's something that we really value, obviously, at Spatial. We want things to be accessible. So hopefully this device kind of like follows in that trajectory. So I hear you on that 1,000%.
Yeah. I think the parts that I'm still most excited about that were totally unshone and is wide open space is the socialness of like, we only saw the littlest idea of like FaceTime and 3D, and you're locked inside this floating frame, and it's kind of like you're in the Harry Potter universe of like, you're there, but you're not there. You didn't see anyone sharing a space together of like walking around, looking at an object, let alone many people of like so many of Apple's first party social experiences are for small groups. You FaceTime with maybe several of your friends at most, but that's not 100 people. It's not 1,000 people. And what that looks like, I think, is where I'm just the biggest dreamer about. And not only within our personal spaces, but outdoor spaces of like, you also didn't see this in outdoor spaces. And so many of the huge successes we've seen in AR were hinged on outdoor, whether that was Pokemon Go and the cultural phenomenon of going out to these spaces, Even the original Magic Leap, I remember some of the people who bought that early on, you could go and like hang things off of your tree in your backyard. I know that wasn't supported, but it worked, and you could do it outside. So seeing what that looks like and the social experiences that creates, I'm so excited about. And I think that's what touches on probably the hardest part of the engineering that is so infrastructure heavy, that's so complex, is thinking about that multiplayer networking, those anchors, those shared references, how you have a whole map of the world that you're loading in. And that's part of the puzzle that Unity solves with AR Foundation, their set of APIs that are generic across all of these AR platforms, as well as Spatial, of like having that multiplayer built in without having to think about it, and knowing that we'll continue to be that piece of the puzzle. And you just get to think about your content, think about your creation, think about who is coming to this, and not having to think about like, oh, should we use UDP for this or WebSocket for this? So like, how do I know what the jitter on this will be versus that? It's some of the most important engineering to get right. And I think that's why it's so key that we solve it and just do it in the best way for our creators to just have that get out of the way and focus solely on what you're there to make real.
Storytelling, absolutely. And I feel like there's like a little round of applause on that part. I'm like, yes.
Spatial is ridiculously lucky to have you being able to be one of the leaders of our engineers to figure all that out, because, you know, it's
definitely not going to be me.
Like yours.
No, we definitely appreciate it. And I think, I mean, it's safe to say, like, our team is incredible. Like, just having the opportunity to work with you and just like thinking about like Waldo and just how many people that we have on our team, Wonky, and they're just all so talented. I mean, the list goes on. So we really appreciate you guys. And it's really refreshing to know that when you guys are building, it's not just like the tunnel vision, but you're thinking about this bigger picture and what it all means and what are all the moving pieces to kind of create that greater story. And I think that's really, really key when you're building things of this magnitude. So hats off to you, Lou. I don't know if you want to answer any questions that you see in the chat. Thank you. Sorry, we're like deep in conversation, but I don't know if you see anything that you might want to touch on, Lou, in your last couple minutes. I know you have to hop soon, but there are a ton of questions here.
Yeah, I'm popping some up. We got a bunch of good ones, but sure one you feel like you want to speak to, if at all.
I definitely agree with these sentiments of, other sensations. I remember one of my favorite VR demos from an early hackathon was someone doing a breathing exercise, and they had a strap that could detect the compression of your chest, and you were visualizing your breath. So
that's cool.
It's good that they already show those Bluetooth peripherals. Hopefully that's pretty open-ended as to like what types of peripherals you can pair it with.
That's awesome.
Lou is the man with the plan. Absolutely.
Yeah. Let's see.
Jonathan, I wish I could answer that off the cuff for you. I'll definitely refer you to our Discord or Slack channel for some good support on that.
Yeah, I'll reach out to you, Jonathan. We'll be able to figure that out. Yeah, the beautiful thing about Spatial is how versatile Spatial is. So, it's always great to get questions across, from the whole gamut spanning of, using Spatial for things like education all the way to gaming. So appreciate everybody that like always chimes in on these streams with questions.
Absolutely. Appreciate it, guys.
Yeah. So we can't thank you enough for all of your insight and knowledge, Lou. Like, you carried the convo today for sure. So we appreciate you, providing all of your expertise.
Yes, thank you so much for joining. And I mean, we appreciate it. This was really insightful. I think it's like a really like exciting time in this space. And sometimes, you need to take kind of like, all right, what are we really looking at here? What does this mean? And I think this is kind of like one of those moments that we needed. And I think, guys, if you guys are tuning in, we're thinking about doing another stream pretty soon, as soon as this week, possibly next week, with some of our founders and Jacob, our head of growth. Definitely also stay tuned for that on LinkedIn. Lou, if you have any last words before you head out.
none other than I love y'all. Thank you for having me. It's so fun working with both of you and getting to do stuff like this. Community, thanks for tuning in. I'm always watching. It's how I start and end my day of looking at all the amazing spaces and all the chatter going on Twitter. So thank you for trusting us with your art. Thank you for trusting us with your stories, and can't wait for the future.
Absolutely.
Right on. Thanks, Lou.
Right on.
Yeah.
All right, see ya.
I'm from Merlin.
Merlin. Merlin.
Make an appearance every time. It's the real fan.
Oh, what a great way.
Merlin is like 2 for 2 now on the live streams.
Everybody is waiting for that every time.
All right.
All right, adios.
Later. Cool. That was awesome. I mean,
yeah, that was awesome.
I know, it's crazy.
How lucky are we to have Lou at our disposal like that?
I know, we're just like, hey, just come sprinkle your good juices on us. I mean, that's crazy. I mean, Jack, I know you're like super into this space as well. We both are, and I've learned so much since I've been at Spatial. What was Monday like for you? I mean, you were in the office, you were excited. What was that moment like for you?
It was awesome. I mean, I haven't personally been in the XR, VR, AR space for as long as a lot of other people have, but I've been just a tech fan and an Apple fan my whole life. Like some of my earliest memories are sitting on my dad's lap, looking at his, old, like an OG iMac type computer, like a old Apple like tower machine or something like that. I remember one year my parents threw me an Apple themed birthday party, which was kind of funny. But
that's the real love.
Yeah, so it was very cool to be able to like just see the next generation of their computing products be released yesterday or on Monday.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. Yeah. I feel like you're born in 98 too, right?
Nah, I'm 2000 baby.
You're 2000. All right. Well, I'm older than you, so 98. But not really that much older. I mean, like hearing what you're saying, like I totally remember like when the iPad came out. I still have like my OG iPad, like all of my iPads there. Yes, like iPod was just like crazy moment. I just feel like looking at my niece now who's like 2 and this is coming out now, like by the time she's like in high school and middle school, it's gonna be spatial computing is gonna be such a infamous moment, and it's gonna be something that's like almost easy for her. And like I think about the same thing with AI. It's such an exciting time right now. AI, spatial computing, we are like literally living in like a tech renaissance era, and I think we're gonna look back and be like, this was the beginning. Something really, really beautiful.
So much cutting edge tech that's evolving so fast is getting combined together at the same time, and it's just making for just so many more possibilities.
And it's really cool to be like, not to like chill or anything, but it's really cool to be like on the spatial team during this time, being like the juxtaposition between what Anand and Jinha and Waldo and team and and Mike were building in 2017, 2018, and now it's fast forward 2023. And I mean, you guys saw that video on Twitter. I mean, we could probably play it, but
I'm gonna pull that up.
It's crazy. It's almost like they told the future in a way, and it's really remarkable. Even the Unity play, a lot of people didn't understand, like, why do we have to build with this toolkit? Like, what's happening? And it's like, this is why we're building with the toolkit. This is why Unity is really important for that cross compatibility. So I definitely want to play the video, Lou. I mean, Jack. I think it's awesome.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up right now.
Community needs to know who came up with the name Spatial. I think it actually was. I think Anand talked about this.
Saying that there was one of the people involved in the conversation when they came up with the name Spatial was a person that was an engineer or designer at Apple. So I don't know if it's like we know exactly who the original thought came from, but like one of the people involved in that initial,
Yeah, it's been a Spatial and an Apple dance for a while. It seems like.
It has been. Yeah, more than many know.
Exactly.
So let's see.
Also, stay tuned, guys. We are definitely going to do a bit of some space surfing, and I think there's like a space that Jack was talking about that had some headsets in it. So maybe we'll hop in there.
Yeah. And let me. I'm just going through the screen sharing real fast.
I wonder why spatial.
Got it. Okay, I'm gonna throw this up.
Yes.
Here we go. Yeah, check this out.
I mean, this is just crazy, guys, from the hand tracking.
We did avatars years ago. Now they're doing avatars.
Now they're doing avatars.
This is just
part
a
was
great coincidence.
This part was crazy. Yeah. I mean, the immersiveness. I mean, you can't make this up. Like the timestamps are there. You can't make this up. I mean, down to the extending your screen. I think Anand says in that clip, what if we could blast our creations, to the world? And I mean, it's just, if anything, we have more 3D. I feel like this is a lot more 2D with those the FaceTiming scene. So it's remarkable. And I see a question here too. I'm not sure how to answer that, Frederick, but maybe like throw that into support. Maybe Jack could figure out what's happening with that, but it should be just a simple error. Anyway, yes, it's crazy. Like, what a time to be alive, basically.
it is wild to see and to think about, like, the fact that the spatial team back in the day was creating the types of things that were showcased earlier this week. So that's very cool. And they didn't use the term virtual reality or 3D during their keynote at all. As far as I know, I didn't hear Apple say that. They, referred to what they are doing as spatial computing. And so it's a testament to the leaders at Spatial that have been ahead of the curve for years. And, it just makes it easy for us and all the people on the Spatial platform to take advantage of these, the new capabilities that will be brought by this headset. And
absolutely. And I think there's never been a better time to start learning that toolkit and getting good at those experiences and understanding the potential of what you can build. Not just games, but really any type of guided experience with the Quest system. I mean, custom avatar, scripting. There's so much that you can do with that. Apple Team asked us if you have ideas.
That's a good one, Ludi. Nice.
That's a good one. I mean, it's crazy, guys. The proof is in the pudding. I mean, ride with us. We're riding with you guys. This is such a moment in history, and we just want to keep the ball rolling. So learn the toolkit. We're going to pump out more tutorials. We want to show more examples of what can be built with this thing. Don't sleep on AR mode. I mean, Jack and I have literally made a video that's currently on the IG. We're going to be making some more content around there. AR mode still works. We never got rid of AR mode. It's completely accessible from the Spatial app right now, right this second. So you can literally make your space right around you, and you could do a crossover with web and have your avatar moving around. It's really, really awesome. So definitely don't sleep on all these features. Get learning, get prepared. We have 6 months until the headset drops. So the countdown is on.
Yeah, what are you going to get done between now and then?
Exactly.
Everybody in the spatial community has the opportunity to shock the world with our creativity and what we can do and create that can be experienced on these devices, because a lot of the people that are going to have their hands on this device to begin with are going to be people in the tech industry and people in business that can afford it, and that are always the people that are early adopters. The people that are every new device they get, those will be the people that get this as well. And so Spatial's an app that can be on that headset, and you all are creators on the Spatial app. So you have the opportunity to, really, set the tone and be like the benchmark for high quality and enjoyable, fun experiences in Spatial, for people
showing what spatial computing means on Spatial.
Exactly.
Literally.
And all of what spatial computing means, because it's a very diverse and versatile, type of computation. So,
and also Unity did release a beta program for creating spatial experiences, which is so funny. It's so fun saying spatial because it's just fits so beautifully.
Yeah.
The create.unity.com/spatial. So definitely, you guys want to be one of the first to create for the Vision Pro. Make sure you guys hit up create.unity.com/spatial, and also check out spatial.io/toolkit, of course. if you're new to Unity, it's a simple drag and drop system. You don't have to know how to code. There's a lot that you can do. We have some tutorials on our YouTube, so definitely dive in now and just start getting prepared. As Jack said, you can be on the front lines, of history when that headset releases. So really, really cool. Jack, I don't know about you, but I'm ready to hop into a space.
Yes.
I kind of want to hop into Backrooms by Cyber Nerd Baby. Like I've been talking about this all day.
Yes, we will make our way to Backrooms. We'll start here. Just a little admiring of this.
Oh my god!
You can go into Spatial, connect with your Sketchfab, and just type in Apple Vision Pro, and you can check it out up close and personal. It's a great model of it too, and so it looks
just like the AR mode that they have. If you guys go to Vision Pro on Apple's website, they have a really dope AR demo that you can like kind of just bring into this space that you're in. And this looks like this was taken from that. It's super cool. It's super, super, super cool. What a time to be alive. If y'all have any questions, definitely throw them in the chat. But yeah, let's hop in to Backrooms. It's a horror space.
You know where I can find Backrooms?
Do I type it?
Wouldn't be surprised if it's trending.
Yeah, it might be trending. If not, I'm pretty sure I typed in Backrooms and I think it popped up.
Yeah. Cyber Baby, the Backrooms. Here we go. This is my inaugural Backrooms experience on Spatial.
Oh my god.
So
just a little backstory on this. Cyber Nerd Baby, who's an incredible creator on our platform. I mean, she has built, Dope Stilo's Music Club. She's built the infamous Star Wars simulator. And now she's kind of getting into this horror scene where she's having the other rest drop first or drop after this. And she dropped this one just recently called Backrooms. It's pretty creepy. I'm not sure what the objective is just yet, but it's quite scary.
Yeah, I'm getting there's a lot of corners that things could be hiding behind.
Exactly. I don't know what this is gonna happen. I feel like I saw something terrifying on Twitter.
Oh boy.
Oh my god, the way you just turned that corner. Also, pointer lock mode is perfect for this.
Yes, pointer lock mode is perfect for this, yeah. Just zooming into first person. Oh.
Yes. Oh, someone joined us.
Just to say real quick, that was a thing, that was a thing. Oh god, oh that actually got me. Oh no. Oh, I don't like that.
What was that?
Go find it. Let's find it. No.
Oh my god, you're gonna go search for it?
I was just gonna say that, like, I understand if you're watching on the stream, there may be a little bit of jutteriness. But if you were to go play this on your own, it won't be jittery at all.
It's just a little lag on the screen share.
Yeah, but I'm getting super smooth 60 FPS plus stuff. And that thing got me. I don't. I like caught a glimpse of it as it was walking behind the thing.
It was what is that?
Oh, there's a table. Oh boy.
I'm literally scared. Like, I'm scared it's gonna come out from the back. I don't know where that thing just went. Is it just walking around the space? Like, what's happening?
I don't know.
Oh my god, I'm scared. Every time you go to the dark.
You have to find the question. I just got a pop up. You have to find the question.
Interesting.
Oh, those people scared me. Gosh dang it!
I'm literally like gonna have a heart attack.
that gave me a little jolt. Oh boy! Oh, we have a whole squad in here now.
I know.
In the back rooms together.
Like, pop in. Oh, Louis just hopped in.
Nice. Glad you all could join us. Hey. Oh, Ludi, you scared the crap out of me. Ludi's a skeleton avatar, and he just came around the corner, and I didn't see the name tag. Oh my gosh.
That was definitely a good play.
You got me.
Who made this world?
Yeah, tell him.
This is by Cyber Nerd Baby, also the creator of Star Wars Simulator and Stilo World. incredible creator, absolutely phenomenal. I mean, just they have another really cool horror space dropping soon called The Other Us. And this is just kind of like a precursor to that called Backrooms. Yo, what's up, Tyrone? How's it going?
Thanks for tuning in, T. Oh my gosh. Wow, that is the perfect avatar for this space. Oh,
Oh
Rob,
my gosh, what is that? Y'all are
that is
coming
a
in
cool
with some
avatar
amazing
too.
stuff right now.
Wow. I wish I had as cool of avatars as you guys. Wow.
This is scary.
All right, I don't know if I haven't been into like the center of this like map. I feel like
I know, I kind of want a map. We should like I want like a map in the corner. Then again, that might tell me like, okay, I'm like getting so scared.
Oh, I didn't know I could get that avatar from Emergo. Good to know, T. So you're talking about the one Rasta was wearing, this one.
Yeah, you can get that one once you complete the quest.
That's awesome. Very nice. I'll have to go do that. Wow. Okay. Oh, geez.
What was that?
Oh, there's a lot of stuff going on. I love how many people are in here now.
I know, I'm like, this place just got really lit.
Yeah. Awesome. Is there anything more to it other than just getting very scared?
I don't know. I feel like I think this might be a work in progress, maybe.
Okay.
But definitely also a good start. I love the whole horror. Like, I can't wait to create a horror category on the homepage.
Yeah. I mean, this whole thing, it looks so real and it looks so good. So can you imagine being in VR and immersing yourself in this environment and going running through it? Imagine. Crazy. Oh my gosh.
Imagine going into AR mode and then that thing walks across your living room. Terrifying.
Yeah, that would be terrifying as well. Josh, so I see what you said. You have to find the right question. Am I not in progress?
Okay, not in progress.
Okay. Anyway, I will accomplish this at some point in time, that's for certain.
Cool. Thanks, Cyber Nerd.
Yeah, this is awesome. Thoughts on the next?
I think Mira dropped V2 of her space. Maybe we could hop in there.
I think you're right. Yeah, I popped in there briefly the other day, but I didn't have a lot of time, so I didn't fully get to explore it. So this is a great chance to do so.
Absolutely.
Oh, look at that. I rule 02.
Yes. V2, baby. Some loading in there. Do we answer some questions in the meantime? Someone copy this World Horizons. Let's see. Cool.
This is cool. So for fun moves, use letters POULKBVG. Interesting. So if I do P, oh my God. Let's go. That's cool.
Okay.
O.
Oh.
I'm swimming. Oh, eyes inventory. We got a little bit of conflict of interest on the buttons. Yeah. L is. Oh, this cool dance. This is cool. I like this. I'm jealous of these cool dance moves.
That's so fun.
What about when we do K? Ooh, that's nice moves too.
Whoa. Whoa.
B. Oh, B does that.
Yeah.
G. Oh, that's kind of cool. Wow.
So just stop, press C.
I'm tired though. I'm asleep.
Someone said, I would love it if you could visit the virtual campus we built. I'm down.
It brings up the inventory, so I'm just going to refresh to hide that thing. Sorry.
Are you restarting it?
Yeah, because a thing popped up, and so I'm just don't want it to be there anymore. Anyway.
Gotcha.
I love how our creators are like adding even more to what
I know, more depth. They're
like,
like,
yeah, you can set hotkeys for dance moves, but nah, we want to do these dance moves. It's like they throw them in there. It's awesome.
it's
And
literally amazing.
who would have thought, like, that's so cool that you can't do that in the real world. So no better place to do it than in spatial.
Spatial, literally. Yeah. Someone, Adnan has a cool virtual campus that they built. Wonder if they threw the link in here. Yeah,
if you're able to if you want to throw a link into the chat for the stream, we'd be, down to go and check it out.
Definitely. I think we have a little bit of more time left.
Yeah, we can get another space or something after this.
Yeah, maybe 1 or 2 more.
Yeah. Here we go. Now we're back in business. Hi, Ira. We're live right now. Let's go find out what we can do in here. Start game. Okay.
I love the design of the space.
Okay, collect 6 keys of life. Keys of life. I'm gonna press F on this. Well, is this a key? Oh, look at that. I like that. That's cool.
Oh.
I'm your guide. Okay. Ooh. Oh, no way. A little guide?
Whoa.
This is super cool.
Wait, what?
No way. I've never seen this done before in a space.
Whoa.
That is amazing. Oh, and you can
How
run.
Did you do that? Wait, whoa.
Wow. That is so creative. Oh, no.
No.
Oh, wait. We're back. We're back.
Wait, this is so cool. Like, wow. That's so creative. I really love that.
Yeah, wow. I wonder how much time this took to make.
Probably a while.
Yes, I am trying to hit the water guide at every stop it makes. Ira had said in the chat. Where'd it go, though, next? I'm trying to find it.
The water guide.
I lost it. Yeah. Or did I? I
love this avatar.
That's a cool avatar. A lot going on. Oh, come on. There we go.
The reflections are so good.
Yeah, I love I love the light, the hue of everything. I'm not sure where the water guide went, though. Oh, no.
Oh, oops.
Well, now people know what they can expect when they come in here.
Right.
Pretty cool quest where you get to, follow along, and it's very interactive. It's very nice.
Definitely. And it's on the trending page, guys, so super easy to hop in. I say we do one more space, Jack.
I agree. I'm with you.
Maybe one from the chat?
Yeah, let's check this out. Let me see.
Do Bombay Sapphire concert or...
Let's see if I can search that up, because I don't think I can copy from the...
I think it's the concert bar right there.
Here we go.
I think so.
Yeah, David, we have been just reviewing spaces a little bit. We started the stream off talking all about spatial computing, and for the last half of it, we've been checking out some spaces. This is our last one, but we're going to be doing this again, and we'll explore more spaces for sure.
And also, David, this will be saved, so definitely go back and rewatch. We had one of our incredible engineers on, Lou, kind of talking about his experience and, demystifying the Vision Pro a bit. It was really awesome. So definitely rewatch the live stream if you want to hear more about spatial computing.
So,
This
pretty
is
nice.
sick.
This is a cool. I can imagine, having a concert in here.
For sure. I love the pink trees.
Yeah.
Wow, or the skybox. Is that the skybox? Yeah, it's the skybox.
Yeah, that is the skybox. Yeah, let me.
The drinks on the wall. Is this going to be an ongoing weekly stream? Yes, this is pretty much going to be weekly unless something comes up. We normally serve spaces. Sometimes Jake is on and kind of helps us through the toolkit. Today we talked about spatial computing. We had Lou, one of our incredible engineers, on. So we kind of just vibe out and connect with you guys and kind of chat through what's going on in the industry and what's going on with spatial and what's happening through the space. So yeah, thanks for joining, David.
Thank you. I don't know. I think stuff freeze for you.
Yeah, just a bit.
Oh, we're back. We're back. Oh, he was changing the skybox. That's right. Look at that. And no wonder we just got a bunch of lag.
Literally.
That is cool. Wow, look at that now. That's a whole different vibe.
So beautiful, actually.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Yeah, that is awesome.
Wait, whoa. This is dope.
I wish I just could, I had skyboxes on hand to be like, boom, new skybox. Look how cool this is. That is awesome.
This is awesome. Definitely.
Also,
the link to the space is in the chat, guys, if you want to hop in.
Yeah. Yep. Oh, he's putting in a new one. It's loading up with a new one. That's why it's frozen again. After this last one, then we'll leave and wrap it. Apologies for the hiccup.
Yes. I can hear you though, Jack.
Yeah, I can hear you too. So hopefully everybody else can. They probably can.
Yeah.
Now it's a radio show with Jack and Hawa. Okay, and we're back. Back
to a TV show. Back to a TV show.
Yes. Oh, he just was putting it back to the. Oh, no way! What?
Oh.
This is so cool.
I mean, this is literally showing you guys live. Whoa, the reflection. That's crazy. Whoa. This
live. It looks like it's like an actual stem coming up in the space.
I love this.
Thanks for tuning into the stream and sharing this space with us. This is awesome.
This is awesome. Should host an event in here.
Absolutely. Oh, new skybox made with AI, he said. Oh, that's even cooler.
Wow.
And we're gonna have to hit you up and figure out how you did that. That's very nice.
Thank you. You're welcome. This is awesome. Yep. All right, cool. I think we're ready to wrap it, guys. Thank you guys so much for joining. Jack, as always, an absolute pleasure. For those of you that don't know, I'm Hawa. I run a lot of comms and social media at Spatial. And I'm just
Jack,
excited.
I need support. So if you have any questions, reach out and let me know, and we'll get your problems solved.
Definitely. It's been super great chatting with you guys. It's such an exciting time in the space, spatial computing. It's, I'm just excited to have the opportunity to be on such an incredible team, kind of building out this incredible platform that's just going to be so pivotal for the future. It's just a good time to be alive, I think. Thank
Great
God. Sure. But yeah, thank you guys so much for joining. We saved the stream. Definitely, tune in, rewatch it. I think Lou dropped some great gems. Spatial did it first. Lou dropped some great gems in the beginning on, kind of demystifying what's happening right now and just kind of talking through the headset and all that good stuff. So definitely rewatch. And it was great to have you. I don't know if you have any last words, Jack.
No, it was great to do this. Glad that we were able to have Lou join us and share all that he did, because that was awesome. If you weren't able to see that part, go back and check that out. But otherwise, thank you for tuning in. And if you're watching this after the fact, thank you for watching it after the fact too. And I can't wait for the next one.
Definitely. See you guys next week. Love.
Adios.